No, I'm working from home today.
Okay.
I see you in the office. I know that room.
Yeah, it's a first floor.
How about my phone?
Hi, Dmitry. We see the sky.
Yep. It's me. I will be in a few minutes on a place.
It's great that we are doing these meetings on Fridays. Yes, so it's weekend tomorrow. Exactly. And do you guys also see this annotations? Because I see text below too. Hey Evgeny, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. I think you're gonna make a demo today, and do you want to test screen sharing?
It works. We tested.
We tested. Okay, perfect. As usual, we'll wait a few minutes while people come, and we'll start accordingly. Hello, Carmen. How are you? We can't hear you.
Yep, now you can. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, Cisco shows captions for me. Is it the same for you?
I'm gonna check.
Oh, it's a new feature. Yeah. Hey, Bob. How are you? Henry, nice to meet you. Good Friday. I don't know whether Chinese colleagues will join the meeting today. I'm not sure what time is there now. They will not yet. It's too late for them. Okay.
The middle of the night, right?
It's almost morning, man. Maybe it's China. Okay, I think we can start. We have a quorum, and let's start the recording. And okay, hi everyone. My name is Evgeny Shvarov. I'm developer ecosystem manager in InterSystems. And today we gathered in our post-contest meetup. And recently we had InterSystems Analytics programming contest for creating InterSystems, for creating solutions. We use InterSystems Iris and different analytics technologies such as InterSystems Iris BI, adaptive analytics, InterSystems reports, and also contestants were invited to use such technologies like as Power BI and Tableau. And we have winners. And actually, we had a lot of wonderful applications. And today, during Meetup, we will give them the floor and let them introduce themselves and make short demos of the most hottest part, the most valuable part of the applications. And usually we are following in a completely random manner in this. And also here we have product managers from InterSystems. Let me introduce Carmen Logue. Hi, Carmen. And also we have Bob Kuzevsky, who is also product manager of InterSystems for yeah, so Bob, you will be able to introduce yourself later. And okay, let's do our demos. So first, I invite Dmitry Maslennikov to make his to introduce himself for those who doesn't know him, and present his wonderful application for this contest. Dmitry, hello.
Hello, everybody. Dmitry Maslennikov. I'm moderator on developer community, co-founder, CTO of CaretDev company. I think it's enough for me. Just almost everybody already know where I am. So application right now, demo. Demo.
We hear you.
Demo now.
Yeah, you can please make the demo.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. If you
Okay.
can.
Moment, please. Select correct window. Okay. Yes. So I created. I already played with Iris with Google Data Studio previously, and I found this cool application with great UI, with lots of possibilities for reports. And one of the interesting features is that it's possible to schedule your reports and get it every day, every week, or at any time as you wish. And it looks great, and just PDF file or report is just it's not static report. You can view it and change it at any time and see what change it, how any dimensions works with connected with your data. And so implement it, have to do it with another project from Google. It's a AppScript project, just a UI. It's cloud editor and deployment tool for some project types in Google. And code here, it's like it has extension JS. It's Google script, but it's simple, just JavaScript. So the code is on JavaScript. And here I use DeepSea API, which is out of the box in Iris. And I needed just a few inputs there, just test connection to check if URL was correct, list of to get list of cubes which will be used in like a data source in Google Data Studio. One data source is just like a table, one table data. So in DeepSea, it will be just a cube. And with this particular cube, we looking for measures and filters, which in terms of Google Data Studio go through metrics and dimensions. But unfortunately, Google Data Studio show them as field, and they have no additional recognition for user. Is it metric or just dimension? But it's important for DeepSea. Yeah, true. And it uses just plain username and password for authentication in Iris, and it corrects. It checks how it is correct. So, config is just a place where we request show field or cubes. It's our function through our API and see the list of cubes, and adding as an option to cube select field. Schema, it's about our fields. So we have our function measures for our selected cube from settings and filters, and edit as in metric or as a dimension. And we have some conversion type from DeepSea type to Data Studio type, but it's just simple and in fact it needs deep conversion. Like in DeepSea we have a few like months, which in fact year months, and we have to convert it in Google Data Studio's format, so it will be correctly displayed and used. So in configuration stage of this data source, possible to change this automatic type to something else. Like if you see that it filtering by this field doesn't work, you could just change it to text, and it will be used as a text. And also possible to add a few more fields, like calculated fields, which you can convert your data in field on the fly, right in Google Data Studio. It's a UI side from user side, not from here. So we have conversion from data, and this is actual work for data. Data Studio requests data, depending on what user was selected in filters, like which dimensions, which metrics he selected, filters set. Also, Data Studio supports such thing as data period, but it's quite difficult to merge it to MDX because we need to select also which field is used to filter your data by this period. But it's possible to add. So, and just generate MDX query by those data. And here it is. We generated MDX, did a query, and converted back to the format for Google Data Studio. Applying filter, if it's possible, and says that we applied filter, because Google Data Studio just do it for yourself, for you, just request data and apply filters as he decided. And so this already pre-configured connector. So you can see here is a list of fields for selected on a previous stage on a configuration. Yeah, it's COVID analytics. So just COVID cube. The fields, so fields from this view, and as you can see here, it's some types for these fields, and we can create report based on this data source, which and this data source will be added to the report. Report may contain many different data sources from different places, and just have ability to be saved and scheduled there. Or explore just a simple view where you can select any type of chart, select data. Unfortunately, these few steps you could, like, it's a data studio requesting data through this JavaScript code to some DT servers. It may not work so fast, but okay, we see, and it automatically found some fields and just randomly edit it, and we now can see that, but it's not count. We need
Yes. Dmitry,
yeah.
Let me ask you a few questions for here. So actually, yes, indeed, this is a fantastic. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a fantastic plugin for Google Data Studio to work with Iris BI cubes, just by adding a few JavaScript code into Google Data Studio. A few questions here. Is it possible to see Iris BI connector in a Google Data Studio, like in the list of Google Data Studio?
Yes. So Google Data Studio. Here, when we create data source, we have a few just Google's connectors and partner connectors. And at the moment, this connector not available for public here, but yes, it's possible with a few requirements from Google. When we apply this, Yes, we can edit. Yeah.
Thank you. And another question from me. I used your plugin. It really works. The only question, it is much slower than when you work with Iris BI directly. So where is the key of slowness? I mean, is it on Google side? I hope, yeah, or it's on our.
Yeah, I see two issues because it's a. I don't know where it is executed. This JavaScript code somewhere was executed, and maybe the issue is here. Maybe somewhere not optimal code. And another issue is that, as you can see, it's possible here to add dimensions, add metrics, but the filtering here not so good as it would expected, and not optimal for us, for MDX. And it's not possible to convert all of this interim to MDX query. So it would be possible if it would be possible to make our MDX query optimal for this particular filters and so on from Data Studio. Maybe the response from C will also be optimal, but it's not so easy for Data Studio.
Gotcha. Dmitry, thank you so much. Colleagues, guests, do we have any questions to Dmitry? Maybe some input from product management.
Dmitry, was this the first time you'd worked with the Iris BI APIs, or is this something you've done before? Sorry, the deep sea APIs.
Actually, I would say yes. It's first time when I touched it with API deep sea. At least I played a bit with deep sea previously, but not just whole projects. So it's as a project, it's my first one.
Yeah, and do you have any feedback about anything missing there that we should know about?
About API deep sea, few interesting things like was unexpected a bit, some formats of request, and the response wasn't so expected, so it is quite tricky to convert request from deep sea to something which I could return to Data Studio. I needed it just on a raw level, but in response of deep sea, it was just a bunch of cells, no matter how many columns I have and so on. And it was a bit tricky to manage it, but found how to do it. Yeah. But everything else looks okay.
Okay. Dmitry, thank you so much. Any questions to Dmitry? Yes.
I have a quick question that's not so much about Dmitry's app, but about Google Apps Script in general that he or someone might know about, which is whether there's any way, I don't know if Google, to run that on premise at all, or it has to go always through their servers. Do they have licensing for it that you can get if you want to run it on site without sending your data to them? Or I mean,
I do not know of any. I believe
Okay.
they only offer it as a cloud.
good to know. Anyway,
Yeah,
just
data studio itself is only in cloud. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's sort of what I figured. But Evgeny and I had been talking last week, and I was just curious if anyone knew differently. Thanks.
Sam. So thank you, Dmitry. Remarkable project, and thank you for participating in the contest yet another time. And looking forward for your new contributions. Thanks. And now I want to pass the floor to our another participant, Henry Hammond. Are you ready? Yes, and Henry presented some Power BI solution. Correct me if I'm wrong. So Henry, yeah.
Hello everyone, just a second to share my screen.
Before I start, just a quick reminder that I forgot to introduce that.
Okay.
Please, colleagues, try to stay within like 10 minutes tops, better maybe 5 minutes with your demo, just to like leave more room for questions and discussions. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sharing my Power BI here. I don't know if everyone see. I create a little presentation in Power BI together with my solution. My name is Henry. I'm a Brazilian. Because of this, my accent is a little bit different because I'm Brazilian. I'm not an English speaker. So I'm a passionate programmer. I'm a technology enthusiast, and I work with InterSystems technology since 2006. But I'm not a data science or a business intelligence guy. This contest was a new experience for me because I'm curious about that, but it's not. I'm not so. I don't have the domain with that. So my project is Power Songs Analytics, and why I created this. First thing, because I'm passionate with music. I love music, and I was watching a Netflix documentary about pop songs and pop music and the evolution of the pop songs. And I thought, why not to do something like that with Iris and with analytics to understand is pop music less or more danceable? Which genres are most popular? Is pop music becoming louder? Are pop songs getting shorter? And because of that, I'm creating this small project. And to answer that, I was inspired by Eugenie project Game of Thrones Data Analytics. I use as a reference this. And the first challenge was to find this data set to do this. And I thought to create a web scraped with Python, but I had this idea on the almost the last day of the contest, and I'm trying to do something fast. And because of the Game of Thrones analytics, I saw the reference of the Eugenie used was on Data World project, and I searched that, and I found Billboard Hot 100 songs from 2000 until 2018, and I used this data set. I imported with a CSV gene, and to do the charts, all the visuals and the intelligence, I use Power BI. And this is the result of this analysis. I'm use all the data set. The first attempt to me was use I know to do analytics in the lyrics of the songs, but because this data set wasn't complete, doesn't have the lyrics of all songs, I tried to adapt that and only use what this data give to me. And that first questions that I used to analyze these pop songs was what is most common musical genres, and for my surprise, country music is extremely popular. I found the artists that have more songs on the Billboard top 100, and I do average of duration of the songs, and to see the pop songs has almost the same time or most of time, and try to understand with this spark chart if the songs are become louder, and this is with a lot of songs, and the average of loudness data that I have. And next chart was about the energy, if the songs are become has more energy, and I try to cross this information with the acoustics, if this sounds is more electronic or more acoustic unplugged instruments, and a chart with if the songs are danceable or not. And that's it. Thank you very much for.
Henry, thanks for such a picturesque presentation. Your slides and it's like a music, very
Thank you.
very expressive. Yeah, very impressive. And thank you for using Power BI with InterSystems Iris on the backend. And do we have any questions to Henry?
So what was the experience like of using Power BI with Iris? I mean, did it just work right out of the box, or did you have some fiddling to do?
Was intuitive and very fast, very easy to connect. It's easy to establish a connection with Iris, because it has a native plugin to connect to the Iris, and it's a tool very easy to deal with. That was nice. The only thing that I had problems was about the permissions, I guess, to allow who to share this chart with public to all, and that's politics is a little bit hard to deal with.
That was because of Power BI licensing, the sharing thing? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Familiar with that. So did you use the direct query? Is that how you were connecting?
Yeah,
Okay.
first I used direct query, and because I got some problems, I import all data, and that is easy to publish. And this presentation, I import all the data to Power BI.
Oh, okay. So the direct query didn't work quite right?
It worked, but to publish, and I don't know why this. Maybe because I'm yes, and another server, and because of this, I decide to import all.
Thank you, Henry, Carmen, Bob. Any questions, Bob?
I have one question. What connector did you use? Did you use the generic ODBC or the InterSystems BI?
InterSystems Iris,
Okay.
native from Power BI.
Right. And did you connect to tables or cubes?
Tables.
Tables. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Henry, thank you so much. Very impressive, and yeah, we're getting not on more and more not only Iris BI solutions analytics now, like Power BI and some other. And speaking of some other technologies and approaches, I invite our another participants to the floor. It's Evgeny Potapov. Hi, Evgeny. So it's your turn. Could you please tell about you and your solution in the contest?
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Evgeny Potapov. I'm from Russia, from Ijevsk city, and I work by CIO at TECCOD. It is a small company that we bring CRM systems into companies. And the second part is we bring analytics. And one of our clients come to us to ask, is their metrics about visitors of their site is correct? And we began to research, and we was surprised that now I show you. See. I see.
Evgeny, we can barely hear you.
Yeah, if you can raise the loud of your voice a little bit.
Or
Okay,
the speaker,
okay.
yeah.
Let's try. Okay, can you see my desktop? Yes?
Yes, we see far, I believe. Yes, this is the
Yes,
name of the application.
Yes, correct. I have downloaded one log file from Apache web server to show data source. We get data from that files to compare it with Yandex Metrica. Please. Showing. Okay. To compare. And the first data is data about visitors looks like that. English. $4,100. But by logs, we see that there are just like 5,000, about 6. But deeply investigated, we see that there are many robots and many uptime things about their site, and we decided to get data from log files and import them to Iris. And the first step was to write PHP script which gets log file and puts it into Iris. Then we made dashboard which shows us just a little bit slowly because it's all on my laptop. Yep, 6,400. Well, okay. And now we want to compare this data from Apache and from Yandex Metrica, but first we decide to import this data from Yandex. And for this purposes was written second PHP script, which gets data from Yandex and converts it to CSV file and get it back to Iris. Okay, I thought, well, that's nice, but let's transmit this data to at scale. Okay, we've made at scale project, import the transmit data to it, and made cube here. Okay, cube works, and we decided to connect the Power BI dashboard. Okay, it gets data from there and shows it quite pretty, but slowly. This is because each request goes directly to scale without cache, without local storage. And we thought, okay, Power BI good, but let's make it in Tableau. Okay, and we got Tableau. There are many of pages. Means one dashboard here and the index metric here.
Evgeny, we are losing your voice again. Please.
Again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now it's much better. Yeah.
Thank you. And this dashboard works much faster because it store local data. Okay, and then after we made Tableau, we thought, okay, let's try to make it on Logue, and Logue report was made too. So we can do it, and after later than we made this dashboard, we'll deploy the server for Logue, and it works too. This is all the stack of technologies we want to use to bring much more experience.
Or at least you can compare experience. Yeah.
This will be
before I proceed, could you please show the cube or at scale cube?
Scale cube?
Like yeah, the model.
So
maybe enter model. Yeah.
Maybe.
It's on the right.
All the screen because some screens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's all what I want to show you.
Evgeny, thank you. So yes, it looks like you used almost all the proposals we suggested from a technology set in this contest. Any questions?
This is great, Evgeny. I wanted to ask about, so all the data source was at scale once you established the at scale cube? Did you connect to Tableau, Power BI, and Logue to at scale or to Iris BI?
Yes, to at scale. At scale gets data from Iris.
And did you see any performance benefit, or did you compare maybe the connecting directly to Iris BI versus at scale?
No, we didn't compare performance, but no, we didn't. I have no measures.
Okay.
And I think it looks like you're using the hosted at scale, so I'm sure you had some round trip stuff too there, right? I think, isn't that? Yeah, that's our hosted, the one that we made available for this contest. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yes, Karma, this is the at scale server we provided for the contestants to play with. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. Actually, like Evgeny said, thank you for using everything.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, any feedback that you have either from you or from the, about sort of the purpose for each of them? We have some ideas around that, but I'm just curious if you found any of the end tools, better in for a certain use case or not.
Not sure.
Or was this, more of an experiment to try all of them, probably, right?
Yes, it was an experiment. I don't know. I can't select one much use.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
They all are interesting and they all have some cases to use.
Mhm. Yeah, and how did you learn about how to use at scale? Was it just through some of the things that we made available for the competition?
Well, Google.
Okay.
and
Yep, fair enough.
try and
Great, thanks.
Yeah. Carmen, remember we did a kickoff, yes. So we showed that, and actually we have
Yes.
some videos, we provided materials. So I hope our team who prepared the contest, so they did some
Yes.
job, and Google worked.
Yeah,
worked.
no. I'm asking because I'm just curious about what else we should be doing on our side, on my side. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I'm
actually,
asking.
thank you for this question because we of course very interested if what our preparations work too. So I mean, and it's to Evgeny and to all other colleagues. There will be a follow-up survey about your participation, the experience of your participation in the contest. If you could share your feedback on how was it to work with this or that InterSystems tools and technologies, this would be a great help. This will be a great help. Okay. Any questions to Evgeny? Any more questions to Evgeny? No. So if not, I wonder if the product managers have maybe some to say, like as a conclusion, or maybe what the impression of the contest itself. Carmen, do you want maybe to share your impression?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so first of all, thank you, Evgeny, for running the competition, and thank you, everybody, for participating. It's always, fun and instructive to see what people end up doing. We learn a lot from it every time. And this is this whole area of, let's call it analytics, visualization, is an area that we've invested a good amount in the last few years and are continuing to do so. So that's why a lot of my questions were, well, how was it? So yeah, so keep that feedback coming. I think, our goal is to have both the ability to integrate with popular tools that people want to use, as well as grow our embedded solution. So, the more that you can give to us and give us feedback about what works for you and what works for your customers, the better. So really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you, Carmen. And I also want to say thank you. And actually, it's so great to see your enthusiasm, your great ideas, your original way of thinking, and you surprise us every time. And I hope we'll see all that and see you with the next contests. And again, thank you. So, and with this, just want to say have a happy weekend, and see you on the developer community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.